How to motivate yourself when you don't feel like it. You have probably felt that heavy feeling before. It is the feeling of knowing you need to do something, but your body refuses to move. Your brain makes up 1,000 tiny excuses that all sound very reasonable. You tell yourself you will start tomorrow, next hour, or after one more video. But tomorrow comes, and the same heavy feeling returns like an unwanted guest. This book is not written for superheroes who wake up jumping with energy. This book is written for normal people who sometimes feel stuck, tired, or simply bored. You are not broken or lazy. You are just missing one small trick that changes everything. The good news is that motivation does not have to find you first. You can actually create it with one tiny action that takes less than 10 seconds. Most people wait around for a magical feeling to arrive before they begin working. That is like waiting for the sun to shine before you learn how to light a match. The truth is that action comes first, and motivation follows behind like a happy puppy. You do not need to feel great to start. You just need to start something so small that your brain does not even fight you. This book will show you 15 fun and silly easy ways to trick yourself into moving. By the time you finish reading, you will never wait for motivation again. Chapter 1. The Do-Nothing Experiment. Sit down in a comfortable chair and set a timer for just 2 minutes. During those 2 minutes, you are not allowed to do anything at all. No phone scrolling, no thinking about work, no planning your dinner. You must simply sit and do absolutely nothing while watching the timer count down. This sounds very easy, but most people fail within the first 30 seconds. Their hand reaches for a phone or their mind starts making a to-do list. When the 2 minutes end, you will feel something strange inside your chest. You will feel a tiny spark of boredom that actually wants to do something useful. That spark is your hidden motivation waking up from a deep sleep. Boredom is actually a secret weapon that most people never learn to use. When your brain has nothing to do, it starts begging for any small task to kill the quiet. You can use this boredom to push yourself toward the thing you have been avoiding. After your 2 minutes of nothing, stand up and walk slowly toward your desk or your workspace. Your brain will be so happy to have something to do that it will not complain. This is why people often get their best ideas in the shower or while waiting in line. The empty space creates a vacuum that action rushes to fill. You are not fighting laziness anymore. You are simply making laziness so boring that your brain chooses to work instead. Try this experiment 3 times on different days to see how it works each time. The first time you might feel silly sitting there like a statue with nothing to do. The second time you will notice how loud your own thoughts become when there is no distraction. The third time you will actually look forward to the 2 minutes of nothing. After the timer beeps, immediately grab the smallest task you have been ignoring. It could be washing one plate, writing one sentence, or sending one email. Do not think about finishing the whole job. Just do that one tiny thing while the boredom energy is still fresh. You will be shocked at how easy the first step feels when you come from total nothing. Most people try to motivate themselves by adding more pressure and more rules. They make long lists and big promises and harsh deadlines that crush their spirit. This experiment does the opposite by removing everything until only the bare minimum remains. When you take away all distractions, your natural human drive to be useful wakes up on its own. You do not have to push or force or yell at yourself anymore. You just have to create empty space and let your body choose to move. This works because humans are not designed to sit and do nothing forever. We are designed to build, fix, create, and help each other complete small tasks. The next time you feel completely stuck, do not open social media for a quick escape. Do not make another perfect plan that you will not follow tomorrow. Simply sit down somewhere quiet and promise yourself 2 minutes of pure nothing. Leave your phone in another room so you cannot cheat and grab it. Set a timer that makes a loud sound so you know exactly when the boredom ends. When the beep happens, notice how your hands feel slightly eager to grab something useful. That eagerness is your real self breaking through the fog of procrastination. You have just proven that you do not need willpower. You just need a little bit of boring, empty space. Remember that this experiment works best when you do not judge yourself during the 2 minutes. If your mind runs wild with worries, just watch them like clouds passing by. If you feel restless and annoyed, that is actually a great sign of progress. The restlessness means your body is ready to move, but your brain is still learning the game. After a few tries, your brain will learn that doing nothing is actually more painful than doing something small. That is when motivation stops being a battle and starts being a natural reaction. You have not added any new discipline to your life. You have simply removed the noise that was hiding your natural drive to act. Chapter 2. Give yourself 5 minutes, just 5. Pick any task that you have been avoiding for days or even weeks. Now promise yourself that you will only work on it for 5 minutes. Not 1 hour, not until it is finished, just 5 tiny minutes on the clock. Set a timer where you can see the numbers counting down in front of your face. Tell your brain that after 5 minutes you can stop with zero guilt or shame. This promise is the most important part because your brain needs to feel safe. When your brain thinks a task might take forever, it fights you with everything it has. But 5 minutes feels so small that your brain barely bothers to argue. You have just slipped past the guard dog of procrastination without it even barking. Start working on your task and watch the timer count down from 5 minutes. Do not worry about doing a perfect job or making everything look beautiful. Just move your hands and your body through the motions of starting the work. If you are writing, type whatever words come out without deleting anything. If you are cleaning, pick up the first 3 things you see and put them where they belong. If you are exercising, do the smallest, easiest version of the movement you can imagine. The quality does not matter at all during these 5 minutes. The only thing that matters is that your body is moving and your hands are busy. You are sending a clear signal to your brain that action is possible right now. Something magical happens around the 3-minute mark of your 5-minute timer. Your brain stops complaining and starts focusing on the work in front of you. The scary monster that looked so huge from the couch suddenly looks much smaller and less threatening. You might even find yourself making small improvements or solving little problems without thinking. This happens because your brain hates switching tasks more than it hates working. Once you have already started, continuing feels easier than stopping and starting again later. By the time the timer beeps at 5 minutes, you will likely want to keep going. But even if you stop, you have already won by breaking the seal of inaction. The real power of this trick is that 5 minutes is too short to feel painful. You can do anything for 5 minutes, even things you truly dislike doing. Cleaning a toilet takes less than 5 minutes when you actually start scrubbing. Sending a difficult email takes 2 minutes once you stop rewriting it in your head. Organizing one drawer takes 3 minutes when you stop staring at it first. The resistance you feel before starting is almost always bigger than the task itself. Your imagination makes the work look 10 times harder than it really is. 5 minutes of real action will destroy that imaginary monster every single time. Use this trick multiple times throughout your day whenever you feel stuck. You can do 5 minutes of work, then take a break, then do another 5 minutes. Stacking small 5-minute blocks can finish huge projects without ever feeling overwhelmed. Each block tricks your brain into starting fresh without remembering the previous block. This works because your brain measures pain by how long you expect to suffer. 5 minutes of expected suffering feels like nothing, so your brain says yes immediately. 15 minutes of expected suffering feels like something, so your brain might say no. Keep your promises small and your brain will keep saying yes all day long. After a week of using the 5-minute trick, you will notice a big change in how you feel. The heavy dread that used to sit on your chest before starting will start to fade away. Your brain will learn that your promises are real and that you stop exactly when you said you would. This builds trust between you and your own mind, which is a very powerful thing. Eventually, you will not need the timer because your brain will just start working on its own. But keep using the timer anyway because it makes the whole game more fun and clear. You have not become a different person with more willpower. You have simply learned how to ask yourself for only 5 minutes instead of forever. Chapter 3: The Lazy Person's To-Do List. Throw away the long list of 20 things that has been stressing you out all week. That long list is not helping you at all because it makes you feel tired just looking at it. Today you will make a new list with only 3 items on it. The first item must be something so easy that a sleepy child could do it. The second item can be a little harder but still finishable in under 10 minutes. The third item is the real task you have been avoiding, but broken into its smallest piece. Write these 3 items on a small piece of paper or a sticky note. Keep the note somewhere you will see it often, like on your phone or your desk. This list is not meant to impress anyone or prove how busy you are. This list is meant to help you actually move forward today. Your first item might say something like, drink 1 glass of water, or stand up and stretch. Your second item might say, put 3 dishes in the dishwasher, or write 1 sentence. Your third item might say, open the work document and read the first paragraph only. Notice how none of these items ask you to finish anything completely. They only ask you to start and to do a tiny visible piece of the bigger job. When you finish your first item, you get to cross it off with a satisfying line through the words. Crossing things off a list releases a small amount of happy chemical in your brain. That happy chemical makes you want to cross off the second item next. You are using your brain's own reward system to pull yourself forward step by step. After you finish your first 2 easy items, look at your third item again. The third item no longer looks as scary as it did when you first wrote it down. Your brain has already won twice today, so winning a third time feels very possible. Start working on your third item and notice how your hands move without as much resistance. You might even find yourself doing more than the small piece you promised yourself. That is fine and even wonderful, but do not change your list to add more pressure. Keep the list at 3 items even if you feel full of energy and ready to run. Adding more items will bring back the overwhelmed feeling that stopped you before. Protect your small list like it is a precious treasure because it really is. The next day you will make another 3-item list with the same simple structure. 1 tiny easy win, 1 medium small win, and 1 broken piece of a bigger task. Over time, you will train your brain to expect success instead of dreading failure. Each small crossed-off item builds evidence that you are someone who gets things done. This evidence matters more than any motivational speech or inspiring quote you have ever heard. Your brain believes what it sees you actually do, not what you wish you would do. Crossing off 3 small items every day proves to your brain that action is normal for you. After a few weeks, your brain will stop fighting you because fighting feels like a waste of energy. The lazy person's list works because it respects how your brain actually functions. Your brain hates feeling overwhelmed and will shut down when it sees too many demands. Your brain loves feeling successful and will wake up when it sees easy wins ahead. Long lists make you feel behind before you have even taken 1 single step. Short lists make you feel ahead because each crossed item is a noticeable percentage of the whole. This is not about being lazy or avoiding real work at all. This is about being smart with the limited energy you have on difficult days. Even productive people use this trick when they feel tired or unmotivated. They just do not tell you about it because they want to look like natural superheroes. Keep your 3-item list somewhere visible and cross off each item as soon as you finish it. Use a bright colored pen so the crossed lines stand out and make you feel proud. If you finish all 3 items before lunch, you are allowed to stop or add 1 more tiny item. But never add more than 1 extra item because 3 is already a victory. If you finish 0 items, make tomorrow's list even smaller and even easier. You can always make a list of 1 item if that is all you can handle right now. The goal is not to do everything. The goal is to do something and feel good about that something. A tiny win today is worth more than a perfect plan that never gets started. Chapter 4: Find your 1 tiny win. Look around your current space and find 1 small thing you can fix or finish in under 60 seconds. This thing should be so small that doing it feels almost silly to call it a win. You could close a drawer that has been left open for 3 days. You could throw away a candy wrapper sitting on your desk since yesterday. You could put one shoe back where it belongs instead of leaving it in the middle of the floor. These actions are not impressive or worthy of a celebration in most people's eyes. But today, you are not most people, and you are playing a different game entirely. Your game is about building momentum from absolutely nothing at all. Go do that tiny thing right now before you finish reading this paragraph. Welcome back, and notice how your body feels different after completing that tiny action. You might feel a slight lift in your chest or a small sense of relief in your shoulders. That feeling is momentum, and it is the most valuable energy you can have on a low day. One tiny win creates a tiny spark inside your brain that wants another win. You do not need to chase big victories or finish huge projects right now. You just need to find another tiny win that takes less than 60 seconds to complete. Each tiny win is like a small push on a heavy swing that has stopped moving. After a few pushes, the swing starts moving on its own without any effort from you. The best tiny wins are visible things that you can see with your own two eyes. Making your bed is a great tiny win because you see it every time you walk past your room. Putting one book back on the shelf is good because the empty spot disappears. Washing one cup and leaving it to dry gives you a clean surface that was dirty before. Your brain notices these visual changes even if you do not think about them consciously. Each visual change sends a quiet signal that says, "Things are getting better now." That signal lowers your stress and makes your next action feel easier to start. You are not cleaning your whole house or finishing your whole project. You are just collecting small visible wins like coins in a piggy bank. Try to collect 3 tiny wins before you allow yourself to check your phone or sit down to rest. These 3 wins can be completely unrelated to your main work or your big goals. You could water one plant, then delete 3 old emails, then put your shoes in the closet. None of these tasks move you toward your big dreams in an obvious way, but they do move you out of the stuck and frozen feeling that keeps you trapped. Moving your body and completing small actions wakes up your brain's motor system. A warm motor system finds it much easier to start a harder task than a cold, frozen one. Think of these tiny wins as stretching before a run rather than the run itself. You can play this tiny win game anywhere and at any time of the day. Sitting in a waiting room, you can organize your wallet or delete old photos from your phone. Standing in a kitchen, you can wipe one counter or throw away one expired item from the fridge. Walking through your living room, you can fluff one pillow or straighten one picture on the wall. The rules are always the same. Find something that takes under 60 seconds and just do it. Do not think about whether it matters or whether someone else would notice it. Do not worry about doing it perfectly or in the best possible way. Just move your body and complete the action and feel the tiny spark of done. After collecting 5 or 6 tiny wins throughout your day, look back at what you have accomplished. You might be surprised at how much better your space looks and how much lighter you feel. The individual wins were too small to notice on their own, but together, they created real change. More importantly, you have proven to yourself that you are capable of taking action. You did not wait for motivation or the perfect moment or the right feeling. You just saw small things and did them because they were right in front of your face. That ability to act without waiting is the exact skill you need for bigger tasks too. You have been practicing on small things so that bigger things feel just as easy to start. Chapter 5: The Future You Trick. Close your eyes and imagine yourself waking up tomorrow morning as a slightly different person. This person is still you, but they have to deal with whatever choices you make today. If you leave dishes in the sink, future you has to wash them before breakfast. If you leave your work unfinished, future you has to rush and feel stressed before the deadline. If you leave your clothes on the floor, future you has to step over them and feel annoyed. Now open your eyes and decide that today you will be a kind friend to future you. You will do one small thing right now that makes future you smile when they wake up. This is not about discipline or responsibility or being a good adult person. This is simply about being nice to someone you care about, and that someone is tomorrow's you. Take one small action that future you will notice and appreciate within the first hour of their day. You could fill the coffee maker with water so future you just pushes a button. You could lay out your workout clothes so future you does not have to search in the dark. You could write down the first 3 steps of your project so future you knows exactly where to start. These actions take less than 2 minutes right now, but save future you much more time and stress. Future you will wake up feeling slightly confused about why everything seems easier today. That confusion will turn into gratitude when they realize you were looking out for them. Gratitude is a powerful feeling that makes future you want to be kind to even later you. You have just started a chain of kindness that can loop forward through many tomorrows. The magic of this trick is that it works even when you feel zero motivation for yourself. You might not care about your own goals or your own success on a hard day, but you probably still care about being kind to another person who is having a hard time. Future you is a real person who will actually experience real feelings because of your actions today. They will feel rushed or calm, stressed or peaceful, messy or organized based on what you choose now. Thinking about future you takes your ego out of the equation and replaces it with compassion. Compassion is much easier to access than willpower on days when you feel completely empty. You are not doing this for lazy current you. You are doing this for hardworking future you who deserves a little help. You can play this game backwards too by thanking past you for things they already did. When you notice that your water bottle is already full, say thank you to past you who filled it. When you find that your keys are hanging on the hook, thank past you for putting them there. When you see that your shoes are by the door, thank past you for saving you 3 minutes of searching. This backward gratitude trains your brain to notice helpful actions and want to repeat them. Your brain learns that being kind to future you feels good and gets appreciation in return. Appreciation is a reward that costs nothing, but still makes your brain feel warm and happy. A brain that feels warm and happy is much more likely to take action again tomorrow. Write a short note to future you and leave it somewhere you will see it in the morning. The note could say, "Good morning. I did the dishes so you could relax," or something similar. Future you will read that note and feel a genuine wave of thankfulness toward past you. That wave of thankfulness might be enough to help future you take their own first step. They might decide to be kind to even later you by doing something small before leaving for work. The chain of kindness continues without anyone having to feel motivated or inspired or energized. You have created a system where action happens because of care rather than because of pressure. Care is renewable and infinite while pressure runs out very quickly on hard days. Choose care over pressure and watch how much easier action becomes. The beautiful truth is that future you is also past you from the perspective of even later you. This means you are always someone's past you and always someone's future you at the same time. You are part of a long line of you stretching forward and backward through time. Each you in that line has the power to make the next you feel relieved or annoyed. Making the next you feel relieved is a gift that costs almost nothing to give. You do not need to be perfect or productive or impressive to give this gift. You just need to think about tomorrow morning for 60 seconds and do one kind thing. That one kind thing might be the spark that starts a whole week of forward movement. Chapter 6. Blast a 2-minute power song. Create a short playlist of songs that make your body want to move without thinking. These are not songs you analyze or judge or feel embarrassed about liking. These are songs that make your foot tap and your head nod before you even notice it happening. Your power songs might be silly or old, or from a genre you never share with your friends. That does not matter at all because this playlist is only for you and your private moments. Keep this playlist ready on your phone so you can press play without any searching or deciding. Deciding takes energy, and today, you need to save every drop of energy for moving instead. Your only job is to press play and let the music grab your body by the shoulders. When the first power song starts, stand up from wherever you are sitting right now. Do not think about whether you feel like standing or whether standing is silly. Just let the beat pull your body upward like a gentle wave lifting a boat. Now move any part of your body in any way that feels natural to the rhythm. You could bounce your knees, shake your hands, roll your shoulders, or nod your head fast. You could do a small silly dance that no one else will ever see or judge. The goal is not to look good or to exercise your muscles in a helpful way. The goal is to shake loose the stuck energy that has frozen your body to the chair. Moving your body for 2 minutes changes your chemistry faster than any thinking ever could. Your brain releases small amounts of dopamine when you move to music that you enjoy. Dopamine is the chemical that makes you feel alert, interested, and ready to try things. Sitting still in silence allows stress chemicals like cortisol to build up in your bloodstream. Cortisol makes you feel heavy, tired, and convinced that nothing is worth doing. By blasting a power song and moving your body, you are literally changing your brain chemistry. You are flushing out the tired chemicals and replacing them with awake and ready chemicals. This is not positive thinking or fake motivation or pretending to feel good. This is real biology that works whether you believe in it or not. After 2 minutes of moving to your power song, notice how your body feels compared to before. Your muscles might feel slightly warmer and your breathing might be a little deeper. Your mind might feel less foggy and your eyes might feel more open and awake. This is your signal that the chemistry has shifted and action is now possible. Turn off the music and immediately grab the smallest task from your to-do list. Do not sit back down or check your phone or give yourself time to think. Your thinking brain is what got you stuck in the first place with all its worries and doubts. Your moving body has temporarily silenced that overthinking voice. Use this quiet moment to start your task before the voice wakes back up again. You can use this power song trick multiple times throughout any difficult day. Play one song before starting your work in the morning to wake up your system. Play another song after lunch when your energy naturally drops and your eyes feel heavy. Play a third song in the late afternoon when you still have 2 hours of work left to finish. Each song acts like a small reset button that shakes off the accumulated stillness. You are not exercising or training or trying to get fit in any way. You are simply using rhythm and movement to remind your body that it is alive. An alive body wants to move and do and make and fix and help and build. Your only job is to provide the soundtrack that wakes that aliveness back up. Change your power songs every few weeks so your brain does not get bored of the same ones. Your brain stops reacting strongly to songs it has heard too many times in a row. Keep a backup playlist of at least 10 songs so you can rotate through them without repetition. You can also use instrumental music or movie soundtracks if words distract you too much. The key is that the music must make your body want to move without any effort from your brain. If you have to convince yourself to like a song, it is not a power song for you. Find songs that grab you instantly like a friend pulling your arm toward the dance floor. Those songs are medicine for stuck days, so keep them close and use them freely. Chapter 7: The Messy First Step Club. Welcome to the Messy First Step Club, where perfection is banned and finished is the only goal. As a member of this club, you are allowed to do your work badly on purpose. You can spell things wrong, leave things uneven, and make choices that look ugly. The only rule of this club is that you must take one step forward no matter how messy. That step can be a sentence with typos or a drawing that looks like a child made it. That step can be a cleaned corner while the rest of the room stays a disaster. That step can be an email that is not perfectly polite or beautifully formatted. The mess does not matter at all because you can clean it up later. Right now, you just need to exist in the land of started instead of the land of not yet. Most people stay stuck because they want their first step to look like their 100th step. They imagine the finished product and compare their empty page to that beautiful vision. The gap between nothing and perfect feels so huge that they never take any step at all. This is like refusing to learn guitar because your first song does not sound like a professional concert. Every single person who ever made something beautiful started with something ugly and messy. The first pancake is always weird shaped, and the first draft is always full of mistakes. You cannot skip the messy stage and jump straight to the good stage. The messy stage is not a failure. It is a required door that everyone must walk through. Write this sentence on a sticky note and put it on your screen right now. Bad action beats perfect inaction every single day of the week. Read that sentence out loud so your ears hear the words and your brain accepts them as true. Bad action moves you forward while perfect inaction keeps you exactly where you started. Bad action can be fixed, improved, edited, cleaned, or completely redone later. Perfect inaction gives you nothing to work with except regret and disappointment and wasted time. You are allowed to be bad at things, especially things you are trying for the first time. Being bad is not a character flaw, it is simply a stage of learning and doing. Give yourself permission to be bad so you can eventually become good. Your messy first step does not need to be shown to anyone else at all. You can keep it hidden in a folder called Ugly Drafts, where no one will ever see it. The only person who needs to know about your mess is you, and you are already being kind to yourself. After you finish your messy step, you can take a break and come back with fresh eyes. When you return, you will see exactly what needs to be fixed because something exists to look at. An ugly existing thing is infinitely easier to improve than a blank empty space. You cannot improve nothing, but you can definitely improve something ugly. This is why the messy first step is actually the most efficient path to quality work. Join the Messy First Step Club every single morning before you do any real work. Declare out loud, "I am allowed to be messy today," and mean it with your whole chest. Give yourself 10 minutes to make the ugliest version of your task that you can possibly make. Type the worst sentences, draw the crookedest lines, arrange the most unbalanced layout possible. Laugh at how bad it looks and congratulate yourself for finally having something to work with. Then decide whether you want to improve it or leave it and start something else messy. The freedom of messiness will feel strange at first if you are used to being perfect. But after a few days, you will wonder why you ever tortured yourself with perfectionism. Remember that every beautiful thing you have ever admired started as someone's messy first step. The book you love was once a pile of messy pages covered in crossed-out words. The painting you admire was once a sketch that the artist almost threw in the trash. The building you think is beautiful was once a rough drawing on a napkin during lunch. Mess is not the enemy of quality. Mess is the parent of quality and the friend of progress. You cannot birth a masterpiece without first enduring the labor of creating something ugly. Give birth to something ugly today and feel proud of yourself for doing it. Tomorrow, you can make it pretty, but today you just need to make it exist. Chapter 8. Move your body for 60 seconds. Stand up from wherever you are sitting and look at the clock on your phone or wall. You are going to move your body in any way at all for just 60 seconds. This is not a workout, and you do not need to sweat or breathe hard or feel any pain. You can simply walk in a small circle around your chair if that is all you can do. You can reach your arms up toward the ceiling and then down toward your toes. You can roll your head around in slow circles to loosen your tight neck muscles. You can shake out your hands like you are trying to dry them off without a towel. The specific movement does not matter at all. Only the fact of moving matters. Your body has been sitting still, and stillness is where stuck feelings grow like weeds in a garden. Start moving right now and keep moving until 60 seconds have passed on your timer. While you move, notice how your breathing changes from shallow chest breaths to deeper belly breaths. Shallow breathing tells your brain that you are resting or hiding or feeling small and scared. Deep breathing tells your brain that you are active and safe and ready to engage with the world. Your brain listens to your breathing more than it listens to your thoughts or your words. Changing your breathing changes your brain state faster than any positive affirmation ever could. Moving your body naturally deepens your breathing because your muscles need more oxygen. This is why you always feel slightly different after standing up and walking around for a minute. After your 60 seconds of movement, stand still for a moment and feel your body from the inside. Your heart might be beating a little faster and your skin might feel a little warmer. Your eyes might feel more open and your jaw might feel less clenched than before. These small physical changes are signs that your nervous system has shifted out of rest mode. Rest mode is useful for sleeping, but terrible for starting anything difficult or new. You have just flipped the switch from rest mode to awake mode without any mental effort. You did not need to convince yourself or argue with yourself or find the right mindset. You simply moved your body and your brain followed along like a puppy on a leash. This 60-second trick works even on your worst days when everything feels hopeless and heavy. On those days, you might not believe that any trick could possibly help you feel better. You might roll your eyes and think that moving your body is pointless because you are too tired. That is exactly when you need to do the 60 seconds without thinking or believing or hopping. Just move because you said you would move, not because you expect a miracle to happen. The miracle happens in your chemistry, not in your feelings, so you might not notice it right away. But 15 minutes later, you will realize that you did something you normally would not have done. That realization is the seed of a new belief that action is always possible no matter what. You can do these 60-second movement breaks every hour during any day that feels hard. Set a recurring timer on your phone that reminds you to stand and move for 1 minute. After a few days of this, your body will start to expect and even look forward to these breaks. The breaks stop you from sinking too deep into the stuck and frozen position. Each break pulls you back up to the surface where air and energy and action live. You are not trying to get fit or lose weight or improve your athletic ability at all. You are simply maintaining your body's basic ability to shift from still to moving. That ability is the foundation of all motivation and all productivity and all progress. Protect it by using it many times throughout every single day. Combine your 60 seconds of movement with one of the other tricks from this book. Move your body for 60 seconds and then do the 5-minute timer on your hardest task. Move your body and then find one tiny win to cross off your lazy person's list. Move your body and then blast a power song to keep the energy going even longer. The movement opens the door, and the other tricks carry you through that door into real work. Never try to start a difficult task while your body is still cold and still and frozen. Always wake your body up first with 60 seconds of any movement you can manage. This small investment of time will save you hours of fighting and arguing with yourself later. You are not being lazy by moving first. You are being smart by preparing your vehicle for the road ahead. Chapter 9. The Because I Said So Rule. Stop negotiating with yourself like you are two different people trying to agree on a plan. One part of you wants to work, and one part of you wants to rest, and both parts keep arguing forever. This arguing uses up all your energy before you have even lifted a finger to start anything. Today you will try a different approach that removes the argument completely from the equation. You will become the kind parent, and the stubborn child will have to listen without talking back. When you decide to do something, you will simply say, "Because I said so," and then do it. No explanation, no justification, no trying to convince the stubborn part to agree with you. The stubborn part does not need to agree, it just needs to watch your body move. Choose one small action that you have been avoiding for no good reason all morning. It could be standing up, opening a book, picking up a pen, or walking to another room. Before you do it, say out loud to yourself, "I am doing this because I said so." Notice how strange and powerful those words feel coming from your own mouth. You are used to asking yourself nicely or begging yourself or bargaining with rewards and punishments. You are used to waiting until you feel ready or until the conditions feel perfect and safe. The "because I said so" rule skips all of that waiting and jumps straight to doing. You are not being mean to yourself or ignoring your feelings at all. You are simply refusing to let your temporary feelings be the boss of your permanent actions. The stubborn part of your brain will probably complain when you first try this rule. It might say things like, "That is stupid," or "I do not want to," or "Why are you being so bossy?" Let it complain without arguing back or trying to prove that it is wrong. You do not need to win an argument or convince anyone that your decision is correct. You just need to move your body while the complaining voice talks to itself in the background. After you have moved, the complaining voice will usually get quieter or even stop completely. This happens because the voice only exists to prevent action, and action has already happened. You have outsmarted the voice by acting faster than it could stop you. This is not about willpower. It is about speed and refusing to negotiate. Practice the because I said so rule on very small things first before using it on bigger tasks. Say, because I said so, and drink one sip of water when you do not feel thirsty. Say, because I said so, and put one book back on the shelf when you would rather leave it out. Say, because I said so, and close your laptop for 2 minutes when you want to keep scrolling. Each small practice builds your ability to act without overthinking or negotiating with yourself. Each small practice proves to your brain that the world does not end when you do something you did not feel like doing. Your brain learns that feelings are temporary visitors, not permanent rulers of your behavior. Feelings can scream and complain while your hands keep working, and nothing bad will happen. You can use this rule with a gentle and loving tone instead of a harsh and mean one. Imagine you are a kind older sibling helping a younger sibling who is whining about something silly. You would not yell at them or insult them or tell them their feelings are wrong. You would simply smile and say, "Come on, we are doing this because I said so," and take their hand. Use that same gentle firmness with yourself, not anger or frustration or disappointment. You are not punishing yourself for being lazy. You are helping yourself move past a temporary feeling. The stubborn part of your brain is not your enemy. It is just a scared part that needs leadership. Give it clear leadership without cruelty, and it will eventually learn to trust your decisions. Trust between the parts of yourself grows every time you follow through on a because I said so promise. After 1 week of using this rule, notice how much less time you spend arguing with yourself. The gap between thinking about an action and doing that action will become much smaller. You will catch yourself starting tasks before your brain has time to throw up its usual objections. This does not mean you will feel motivated or excited or full of energy every time. It just means you will stop waiting for those feelings before you allow yourself to move. Moving without waiting is the definition of self-discipline, but it feels more like self-kindness. You are being kind to your future self by not letting your current feelings steal their time. You are being kind to your present self by ending the exhausting loop of negotiation and doubt. Say because I said so today and feel the relief of finally being in charge of your own body. Chapter 10. Reward before you earn it. Choose a small reward that you genuinely enjoy and that costs almost nothing to give yourself. This reward could be 5 minutes of a game on your phone or a small piece of chocolate. It could be watching a funny video or looking at pictures of cute animals online. It could be standing outside for 2 minutes of fresh air or texting a friend a silly joke. The reward must be something that makes you feel a tiny spark of happiness just thinking about it. Now give yourself that reward right now before you have done any work at all today. Yes, you read that correctly. Give yourself the reward first without earning anything yet. This breaks every rule you have ever been taught about discipline and hard work. But those rules were created by people who did not understand how a tired brain actually works. After you enjoy your reward, notice how your body feels compared to before you received it. You probably feel slightly more relaxed, slightly more open, and slightly more willing to try something. The reward has released a small amount of dopamine into your brain before any effort was required. That dopamine makes the idea of starting a task feel less painful and more interesting than before. You are not rewarding laziness or teaching yourself to expect something for nothing at all. You are simply warming up your brain's motivation engine before asking it to drive anywhere. A cold engine fights you, and a warm engine purrs and moves without complaint. Your reward is the key that starts the engine and gets it ready to go. The old way of doing things says you must work first and then you can play afterwards. This works fine when you already feel motivated and full of energy and ready to run. But on days when you feel empty and tired and completely stuck, this rule fails completely. You cannot work first because work feels impossible, so you never reach the reward at all. Flipping the order solves this problem by giving you the reward while you still feel stuck. The reward changes your feeling from stuck to slightly curious about what might happen next. Curiosity is a much better fuel for action than pressure or guilt or shame. You are not cheating the system. You are adapting the system to work for your real human brain. You can use this trick at the start of every single day that feels heavy and hard. Give yourself a 5-minute reward before you even look at your to-do list, or YOUR Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. Then after the reward, take one tiny action that moves you forward in any small way. That tiny action might still feel slightly difficult, but it will not feel impossible like before. After the tiny action, give yourself another small reward as a celebration of having started. The pattern becomes reward, action, reward, action instead of action, 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 maybe reward later. This pattern keeps your dopamine levels high enough to continue moving forward through the day. A brain with steady dopamine does not need to fight or argue or search for motivation at all. Be careful not to let your rewards become so big that they distract you from working at all. A reward that lasts 30 minutes might pull you so deep into fun that you never start working. Keep your rewards short, between 1 minute and 5 minutes, so they refresh you without trapping you. Set a timer for your reward so you know exactly when it ends and action time begins. When the timer beeps, stand up immediately and move toward your task before your brain can argue. You have already had your fun, and your brain knows that more fun will come after the next action. This creates a rhythm that feels playful rather than punishing, which your brain naturally prefers. Playful brains work better than punished brains on every single measure that matters to humans. Try the reward first trick on 3 different days and compare how you feel to normal days. On normal days, you probably feel a heavy resistance before starting any difficult task at all. On reward first days, you might notice that resistance feels much smaller and much easier to push through. The difference is not in your character or your discipline or your worth as a person. The difference is simply the chemistry of a brain that has been given a small taste of joy first. You deserve joy whether you have worked or not, because you are a human being, not a machine. Give yourself permission to enjoy small rewards without earning them first, especially on hard days. You might be shocked at how much easier action becomes when you stop treating yourself like a robot. A little kindness goes a longer way than a lot of pressure every single time. Chapter 11. Break it down like you're 5 years old. Take the task that feels biggest and heaviest in your mind right now and write it down on paper. Now pretend you are explaining this task to a 5-year-old child who has never done it before. What would be the very first tiny thing the child would need to do to get started? The first thing might be, stand up from the couch, or pick up the pen with your hand. Write that first tiny thing down as step 1 on your new list of steps. Then ask yourself what the second tiny thing would be, then the third, then the fourth. Keep going until you have at least 10 steps that each take less than 30 seconds to finish. This list will look ridiculous and overly detailed and almost silly to read. That is exactly how you know you have broken the task down enough to actually do it. Most adults try to complete tasks in 2 or 3 giant leaps instead of many small steps. They think clean the kitchen is 1 step when it is actually 50 tiny steps in a coat. They think write the report is 1 step when it is actually 100 small decisions stacked together. When you look at a 50-step task and see only 1 step, your brain feels overwhelmed. An overwhelmed brain shuts down and refuses to move because the path forward is not clear. Breaking the task into tiny steps builds a clear path that your brain can follow without fear. Each step is so small that your brain does not even bother to complain about doing it. You trick your brain into finishing a huge task by never asking it to do anything huge at all. Look at your list of tiny steps and circle the first 3 steps on the list. Your only goal right now is to complete those 3 tiny steps and then stop. Step 1 might be walk to the kitchen, and step 2 might be open the cabinet under the sink. Step 3 might be take out the trash bag and hold it in your hand. None of these steps require skill or talent or motivation or even much energy at all. They just require a body that can move and eyes that can see where to go next. Complete the 3 steps right now before you finish reading this paragraph. Welcome back and notice how your body feels different after taking 3 tiny steps forward. You have just moved from stuck to started by asking almost nothing of yourself at all. You can use this breaking down trick on feelings too, not just on physical tasks. If you feel anxious about making a phone call, break down what actually happens during a call. Step 1 is picking up the phone. Step 2 is opening the Contacts app. Step 3 is finding the number. Step 4 is pressing the call button. Step 5 is listening to the first ring. Step 6 is saying hello. Each tiny step by itself is not scary at all, and your brain knows this very well. The scariness only exists when you look at all the steps together as one big monster. Break the monster into tiny pieces, and each piece becomes harmless and easy to touch. This works for fear, for laziness, for boredom, and for every other feeling that blocks action. Keep your broken down list somewhere you can see it during the whole day ahead. As you complete each tiny step, cross it off with a satisfying line through the words. Crossing off steps gives you a small win every few minutes instead of one big win at the end. Those small wins release dopamine that keeps you moving forward without feeling tired or bored. By the time you reach step 20, your brain has forgotten that step 1 ever felt hard at all. You are not a different person than you were this morning when everything felt impossible. You are simply a person who has learned to ask for less from each small moment. Less is more when it comes to motivation, and tiny steps win the race every time. The next time someone tells you to think big and dream huge and aim for the stars, smile politely. Then come back to your tiny steps and your broken down list and your 30-second actions. Big dreams are wonderful for setting a direction, but tiny steps are what actually move your feet. You cannot climb a mountain by staring at the top and wishing you were already there. You climb by looking at your feet and taking one step, then another, then another. Break every mountain into 10,000 tiny steps, and the mountain becomes a simple walking path. A walking path is not scary or impossible or reserved for special motivated people. A walking path is just a place where normal people put one foot in front of the other. Be a normal person with tiny steps today and watch how far you go by dinner time. Chapter 12. The 10-second countdown launch. Sit or stand wherever you are right now and close your eyes for just a moment. Think about one small action you have been avoiding that takes less than 2 minutes to finish. It could be sending a short text message or putting your dirty cup in the dishwasher. It could be closing a browser tab that has been open for 3 days without purpose. It could be moving a book from your bed to your nightstand where it belongs. Now open your eyes and get ready to launch yourself into this action like a small rocket. You are going to count backward from 10 out loud or in your head. When you reach the number 1, your body will move without thinking or deciding or hesitating. This is not a suggestion or a gentle request you can ignore if you feel tired. This is a launch sequence, and you have already agreed to blast off at 1. Start counting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Move your body immediately at the sound of the word launch and do not stop to think. Your hand should already be reaching for the cup or your fingers already typing the message. Your body moved because you gave it a command and a deadline and a clear signal to act. The counting gave your brain 10 seconds to prepare without giving it time to argue. Arguments need time to form, and your countdown moved too fast for arguments to catch up. This is the same reason soldiers count down before moving and athletes count down before sprinting. A countdown bypasses your doubting mind and connects your decision directly to your muscles. You have just experienced a clean and instant connection between deciding and doing. The 10-second countdown works because your brain loves patterns and sequences and clear beginnings. A countdown is a pattern that your brain has seen thousands of times in movies and games and real life. When the pattern reaches 1, your brain expects something to happen and prepares your body to act. You are using this learned expectation to trick your brain into launching without resistance. You do not need to feel ready or motivated or excited or even willing to do the action. You just need to start the countdown and let the pattern carry you across the starting line. Your feelings can scream and complain during the entire 10 seconds of counting, but at the sound of launch, your body will move because patterns are stronger than feelings. You can use this countdown launch for any action that you tend to overthink before doing. Use it to get out of bed in the morning when your blanket feels too warm and cozy. Use it to step into a cold shower or to start a difficult conversation you have been avoiding. Use it to open your work laptop or to close social media when you know you should stop scrolling. The countdown works for physical actions, but it also works for mental switches like focusing or listening. The key is to start the countdown before your brain has time to talk you out of launching. If you hesitate between 1 and launch, the spell breaks and you have to start over. Say launch immediately after 1 and let your body move before your thinking brain wakes back up. Practice this countdown launch on very small actions many times throughout your first day. Launch yourself off the couch to get a glass of water, even if you are not very thirsty. Launch yourself to stand up and stretch your arms, even if you do not feel stiff at all. Launch yourself to close a door or open a window or turn on a light switch. Each small practice strengthens the connection between your countdown and your body's movement. After enough practices, your body will start to move automatically when it hears the number 1. You will not need to force yourself or convince yourself or argue with yourself anymore. The countdown becomes a remote control that you point at your own body to make it move. That remote control works even on days when every other motivation trick has failed completely. Use the countdown launch as your emergency tool for the hardest moments of resistance. Keep it in your back pocket for mornings when you cannot get out of bed no matter what you try. Keep it ready for afternoons when you have been staring at a blank screen for 30 minutes without typing. Keep it loaded for evenings when you need to start cooking dinner but your body wants to order delivery again. The countdown does not care how you feel or what you think or whether you believe it will work. The countdown is a mechanical tool like a can opener. It works whether you are happy or sad. A can opener does not ask if you feel like opening the can. It just opens when you turn the handle. Be a can opener for your own stuck body and launch yourself into action starting right now. Count backward from 10 and feel the power of deciding and doing in the same breath. Chapter 13. Blame it on the mood monster. Imagine there is a small creature living inside your brain that controls your lazy feelings. This creature has a silly name like the beast or the blah monster or the nope nugget. Whenever you feel stuck and heavy and unable to move, the mood monster is pushing its buttons. The mood monster wants you to stay still because still is safe and still requires no risk. But you are smarter than the mood monster, and you know its tricks by now. Today you will not fight the mood monster or try to destroy it or argue with it at all. You will simply notice when it is active and then do one small action just to annoy it. Annoying the mood monster is fun and easy and takes almost no energy from you. The mood monster hates it when you move even one finger toward a task you have been avoiding. It hates movement because movement proves that its lazy feelings are not the boss of you. Your goal is to do tiny actions that the mood monster hates without trying to feel motivated first. You do not need to defeat the monster or banish it from your brain forever. You just need to annoy it so much that it gets tired and takes a nap for a while. When the monster naps, you can work without resistance until it wakes up again. This is not a battle of willpower or a test of your character or a fight for your soul. This is a game where you poke a grumpy creature and laugh while it complains. Give your personal mood monster a specific name that makes you smile when you say it. You could name it Grumble Gus or Procrastination Pete or Lazy Larry III. The sillier the name, the less power the monster has over your actual feelings. When you notice yourself feeling stuck, say out loud, "Oh look, Grumble Gus is pressing his buttons again." Then smile and choose one tiny action that you know Gus hates the most. Gus hates when you stand up, so stand up just to annoy him. Gus hates when you take one step, so take one step while imagining Gus groaning in frustration. You are not trying to feel good or motivated. You are just trying to make a grumpy monster miserable. After you complete your tiny annoying action, check in with Gus to see how he is doing. He is probably grumbling louder now because you moved without his permission. That grumbling is actually a good sign because it means you are winning the game. The louder Gus complains, the closer you are to making him give up and take a nap. Do another tiny action that Gus hates, then another in quick succession. Each action annoys Gus more and drains his energy to keep pressing the lazy buttons. Eventually, Gus will sigh and retreat to a corner of your brain to pout for a while. When Gus is pouting, you can work on your real tasks without feeling any resistance at all. You have not changed your feelings. You have simply annoyed your feelings into leaving you alone. You can play this mood monster game with friends or family members to make it even more fun. Tell someone about your monster and ask them to name their own monster too. Compare notes about which tiny actions annoy your monsters the most and why. You could even make a game of who can annoy their monster into napping first each morning. Turning motivation into a game removes the heaviness and seriousness that usually blocks action. Games are fun and play is natural, and laughter is medicine for a stuck and frozen mind. The mood monster hates fun and play and laughter more than anything else in the world. A fun, playful attitude is like sunlight to a vampire. It makes the monster melt away without a fight. Remember that the mood monster is not actually real, but your brain does not know that yet. Your brain believes in the monster because the monster's feelings feel very real and strong. Pretending the monster is separate from you gives you power over feelings that normally control you. You cannot control a feeling that you believe is part of your true self, but you can easily annoy a silly monster that lives in your brain and has a funny name. This trick works because it changes your relationship to your own resistance from serious to playful. Playful people take more action than serious people on almost every measure that matters. Be playful with your monster today and watch how much easier movement becomes. You are not lazy. You are just hosting a grumpy guest who needs to be annoyed into leaving. Chapter 14. Remember your last I did it moment. Close your eyes and travel back in time to the most recent moment you felt proud of yourself. This moment does not have to be big or impressive or worthy of an award at all. It could be a day when you finished a task that you had been avoiding for a whole week. It could be a morning when you got out of bed earlier than usual and felt the quiet peace. It could be an evening when you chose a healthy meal instead of the easy, unhealthy option. Find that moment in your memory and make the picture as clear as you possibly can. What were you wearing? What sounds were around you? What did the air feel like on your skin? Hold this memory in your mind like a small, warm light that cannot be blown out. You have done hard things before and you will do hard things again starting right now. Now ask yourself what made that proud moment possible in the first place. You probably did not feel motivated or excited or full of energy when you started. You probably felt some resistance and some doubt and some desire to quit before you even began. But you took one small step anyway, then another until you crossed the finish line. That one small step was the only real difference between feeling stuck and feeling proud. You did not need to become a different person or find a secret source of unlimited willpower. You just needed to take one step while feeling the exact same way you feel right now. The you from that proud moment is the same you sitting here reading this book. That version of you is not gone. They are just waiting for you to take another small step. Write down 3 words that describe how you felt in that proud moment after you finished. You might write relieved, strong, quiet, or happy, tired, satisfied, or calm, free, done. Keep those 3 words somewhere you can see them when you feel stuck again today. The words are proof that you are capable of moving from stuck to proud in a short amount of time. The words are evidence that your feelings can change once your body starts taking small actions. The words are a promise from past you to current you that action is always worth the effort. Past you is cheering for current you and believes completely that you can do this again. Do not let past you down by pretending that their proud moment was just luck or accident. You earned that moment, and you can earn another one exactly like it today. Use this remembering trick at the exact moment when your resistance feels strongest and loudest. When you hear yourself say, "I cannot do this," or "I am too tired," or "This is impossible," stop. Close your eyes and go back to your proud moment before you take another breath. Feel the warmth of that memory spreading through your chest and into your arms and hands. Let the memory remind you that you have been here before and you have won before. The resistance you feel right now is not new or special or stronger than before. It is the same old resistance that you have beaten many times without even realizing it. Each victory over resistance makes the next victory slightly easier and slightly faster to achieve. You are not starting from zero. You are building on a mountain of past wins. Create a physical reminder of your last proud moment and keep it near your workspace. You could tape a small note to your screen that says, "Remember Tuesday," or "You did it before." You could keep a small object on your desk that you touched during that proud moment. You could set a weekly reminder on your phone that asks, "What did you finish recently that felt good?" Collecting these proud moments builds a library of evidence that you are someone who takes action. A library of evidence is stronger than any doubt or fear or lazy feeling your brain produces. Doubt cannot argue with actual proof of past success that you can see with your own eyes. Build your library one proud moment at a time and watch your motivation problems slowly disappear. You are not broken. You are just forgetting how many times you have already won. Chapter 15. Done beats perfect always. Look at any object in your room right now that was made by a human being. Your phone, your chair, your lamp, your shoes, your book, your water bottle. Every single one of those objects started as a messy, imperfect attempt that someone almost gave up on. The person who made your phone did not build a perfect phone on their first try. They built a broken phone, then a slightly better phone, then a working phone over many tries. The perfect phone you hold today is the result of hundreds of imperfect attempts that came before it. Perfection is not a starting point. It is an ending point that most things never reach. Finished and imperfect is infinitely more useful than perfect and never completed. A done thing exists in the real world and can be used, shared, fixed, or enjoyed today. Now look at your own unfinished tasks and ask yourself a very honest question. Are you avoiding these tasks because you are truly tired or because you want them to be perfect? Many people hide their laziness behind a mask of high standards and a love of quality. They tell themselves they are not working because the conditions are not right for excellence. But deep down they know that excellence is just an excuse to never start at all. A perfect plan that never happens is worth nothing to anyone, including yourself. An imperfect finished thing can be improved, but a perfect idea in your head cannot help anyone. Choose finished over perfect today and feel the relief of releasing an impossible standard. You are not a machine, and your work does not need to be flawless to have value. The fear of imperfection is actually just fear of being judged by people who do not matter. Those people are not sitting with you right now watching you struggle to start your work. Those people will not see your messy first draft or your ugly early version of anything. Those people will only see the finished result after you have improved it many times. You are judging yourself more harshly than any real person would ever judge you. The voice that demands perfection is your own voice, not the world's voice at all. You can choose to turn down the volume on that voice whenever you want to. Turn it down today and let yourself be messy, ugly, awkward, and wonderfully unfinished. Set a timer for 20 minutes and promise yourself that perfection is banned during this time. You are not allowed to delete, erase, undo, or restart anything you do in these 20 minutes. You are only allowed to move forward, even if forward looks ugly and wrong and embarrassing. Type the wrong words, draw the crooked lines, arrange things in a way that looks bad. When the timer beeps, look at what you have made and notice that the world did not end. You have something now, something real and visible and ready to be improved tomorrow. Something real is 1,000 times better than nothing at all, which is what you had before. Celebrate the existence of your ugly something because it is the seed of a beautiful something later. Repeat this 20-minute imperfect sprint every day for 1 full week without missing a single day. Each day you will produce something ugly that you can improve or throw away or keep as is. After 7 days, look back at the first ugly thing you made compared to the 7th ugly thing. The 7th thing will probably be less ugly because practice makes progress even without trying. You did not need to be perfect to get better. You just needed to show up and make things. Showing up is the only real skill that matters for getting anything done in this world. Talent without showing up is nothing, but showing up without talent is everything. You have all the showing up you need inside you right now, so use it today. Keep this sentence written somewhere you will see it every morning when you wake up. Done beats perfect, and done beats nothing, and nothing is where I do not want to be. Read that sentence before you start any task that feels heavy or scary or impossible. Let the sentence remind you that your only job is to cross the finish line, not to look good doing it. The finish line does not care about your form or your grace or your beauty. The finish line only cares that you arrived with something finished in your hands. Arrive at the finish line today with something ugly and messy and perfectly imperfect. Then tomorrow you can make it better, but today you just need to make it done. Done is a magic word that turns stress into relief and turns procrastinators into people who get things done. Conclusion. You have now learned 15 different ways to trick your brain into moving when it does not want to move. Some of these tricks will work better for you than others, and that is completely fine and normal. Your job is not to master all 15 tricks or to use them perfectly every single day. Your job is to pick one trick right now and try it on the smallest task you have been avoiding. Just one trick, one tiny task, one small win that proves to yourself that you can do this. The proof matters more than the plan, and the action matters more than the trick itself. You already have everything you need inside you to start moving toward the life you want. You just needed permission to start small, start messy, and start without waiting for motivation to arrive. Consider this book your official permission slip to be imperfect, to be silly, and to be someone who gets things done. The next time you feel completely stuck and absolutely sure that nothing will help, remember this one truth. Motivation is not a feeling that strikes you like lightning from a clear blue sky. Motivation is a result of taking action, not a cause of taking action at all. You do not need to find motivation. You just need to find the smallest possible step your body can take right now. That step could be a single finger moving, a single breath deepening, or a single word being written. That step will create a tiny spark, and that spark will light a small fire of wanting to continue. That small fire will grow into a warm flame that carries you through the rest of your day. You are not lazy, you are not broken, and you are not alone in feeling this way. You are simply a human being with a human brain that needs a little trick to get started. Now go take your one tiny step and let the motivation find you on the way.